Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nerds with Friends. My name is Cody Leach, and as always, I'm joined by Cristian Garcia.
Yo, I fucked up already. I gave Cody sugar. I wasn't fucking supposed to.
Yeah, so I've been doing keto recently, which is, if you don't know, it's very low carb, very low sugar. And Cristian brought me this yerba mate, yerba mate tea.
It's jungle sugar though, so it should be different.
Jungle sugar.
It's Peruvian.
And
it's
yeah,
a dietary supplement.
It's got 27 grams of carbohydrates in it, which is great. Great stuff.
26 grams sugar.
I knew it was tasting too good to be true. I was like, oh, God damn, this is pretty good.
Sorry.
It's just set me back a week. That's okay. I'm down like 10 pounds already.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
Every now and then you got to throw a little curveball to your body. That's what it
yeah,
is.
keep it guessing.
Yeah.
That's what all the doctors say. We're going to talk, we're going to do round 2 of Good Movie, Bad Movie, which I've dubbed it, where I watch one of your, not so great movies, and you watch one of my marvels of cinematic achievement. So more on that later. We might even talk a little bit of the Two Bears, One Cave live show.
If we get to it.
Which I thought was hilarious. Which is the video podcast with Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. But before that, we should do some nerdy confessions. But make sure you guys check out our website, nerdswithfriendspodcast.com. That's where all of our Twitter, Instagram, and what's the other one? Facebook's. That's where all that information is. Plus, you can pick up some of our Nerd Tea confession, which I just re-upped and got another bag of.
Phoenix Fit.
You can check out Phoenix Fit too and get yourself some pre-workout, post-workout, super greens, testosterone stuff.
And make sure and get the stuff in the ad that pops up later. That's some really good stuff that's coming
Yeah, if there's an ad. Like, we're still figuring this out. We like we mentioned a couple shows ago, we joined Age of Radio podcast network, which is pretty cool.
Also, we just made it to the top 10.
Top 10
Heat Seekers.
Not
sure. I was really not sure what that meant when we were notified, but
yeah.
Then I asked. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah, it's like new people,
I guess,
with the most downloads or something.
We're clearly very knowledgeable.
Yeah,
in the subject matter.
It's a very new show for us, or a new network for us. But so far, it's been great. We appreciate those guys, and
thank you for the love.
Thank you for the love, and hopefully, we'll start making some ad revenue, because having a little middle part for ads when no ads pop up is very awkward.
We're getting close to doing OnlyFans.
Yeah, we're getting close. Yeah,
I don't think you guys want that, or maybe you do.
Maybe you do. Let us know in the comments. But yeah, let's do some nerdy confessions where we confess things that make us nerds. Do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first?
Ghost of Tsushima. Legends is the download. Came out. It's probably more than a week now when you guys are listening. It's fun. I need to play more of it, but it just, or maybe I think it just hopped in with the wrong group. Yeah. It was a bunch of guys who were I speak Spanish.
So it's the multiplayer expansion.
Yeah, there's 2. So there's missions where it's 2 people, and I think later on they get harder, and then you can do more co-op. And then there's just straight up survival. So you're 4 guys trying to survive, just hordes and hordes and hordes coming through.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
It was fun. If I hadn't joined a group, it was me. I was the only one who didn't know these guys. It was obviously 3 guys that knew each other. They're speaking Spanish. I speak Spanish. I didn't want to hop in. I was like, usually when it's the outsider, all right, you're going to get clowned on. I was like, I'm just going to listen. But it was Puerto Rican Spanish. I don't have anything against Puerto Ricans, but I do have something against your fucking accents. Shit is annoying. I'm sorry. I love my people. But the way you guys speak Spanish is fucking annoying. It's like, dude, it's like pause. There's breaks. It's like they'll say a paragraph as a sentence, and it's fucking annoying. I'm sorry for any Puerto Ricans listening, but just slow down when you speak. Just take a break.
You heard it here first. Cristian hates Puerto Ricans.
I've been to Puerto Rico. You guys take your time with everything else. Everything is late. Movies are late. You go to a fast food. It takes 30 minutes to get it. Everything is late. Just speak the way you do the rest. Everything else. Just chill the fuck out. That's what
you heard of Puerto Rico. You're on watch. You're on notice.
And that's my TED Talk about Puerto Ricans.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
But the game is fun. Sorry, I didn't go as fucking
but the game is fun.
The game is fun.
That's the important one.
It's just I wish there was a little bit more early on where you can customize your look, but you got to win points and buy things, and then you can change stuff. I wish you could change at least a little bit in the beginning.
Sure. My nerdy confession is I'm actually kind of juiced to be. I've been watching some videos, and I'm kind of juiced to be back, getting ready to jump back into Destiny. A lot of people know that I've been a avid Destiny 2 player for a long, long time. It's been a couple years now that game's been out. And they are coming out with a new expansion called Beyond Light, I think is what it's called. In I think December, I think is when it comes out.
So is it going to be PS5?
Yeah, it's going to be PS4, PS5, Xbox, and computer. And if you have it on PS4, you can migrate your account over to PS5.
Because I heard they weren't doing that for Spider-Man, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, I heard that too, which is kind of weird. Also, they changed Peter Parker's face. Which
I'm okay with that.
It's whatever, but it's a weird thing to do. But yeah, so I'm excited. I've been watching some videos to jump back in. There's new subclasses. There's a whole new energy type called Stasis. So there's not just Solar, Arc, and Void. There's now Stasis too, which is like a freezing type of energy. And I was watching some videos on some of the new exotics coming out, and some of them are crazy. Like one of them is it's called the No Time to Explain, which was a previous exotic pulse rifle from the Stranger, voiced by Maggie from The Walking Dead.
Oh, nice.
She was in the first game, and she was like never referenced in Destiny 2, but now she's finally coming back. And the No Time to Explain is a pulse rifle, and basically, if you shoot enough like bullets to the face or to the crit point, it'll return bullets into the magazine. And if you like make a kill with it or something like that, it opens a portal that also shoots bullets out of. So it's like, and it's a portal to a different timeline. So it's pretty cool. It's like a really interesting weapon.
I like the concept. It seems really unfair.
Well, it's not like everyone's going to be able to do it. I think you have to get like either so many crits or like a crit kill or something like that. So you're not going to get it all the time. It'll be mostly for cleaning up mobs of enemies. Probably not super effective in PvP. There's a sniper rifle that every time you kill with it, it shoots a lightning bolt down to a person.
I've always wanted to get good with snipers, but I don't have the patience. I've seen guys like just wreck people with rifles.
Yeah. The only game I've ever been good at snipers in was Modern Warfare 2, like back in the day. Like I could fucking clean up with that. And then but you're right, I just don't have the patience for it. I don't have like maybe the hand-eye coordination or whatever. I can't just snap the sights in and do it. I've never been that good.
No.
But
I've seen crazy videos of people not even zooming in. Just
no
people.
scoping.
Yeah.
That was big in Halo.
Insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not that good. I've accepted it. It's fine. I have other talents. But yeah, getting back to it, I'm really excited for Destiny 2 Beyond Light. It's going to start like basically a 3-season trilogy of like connected content. I'm stoked, and I'm excited to play it on the PS5. That's going to be
nice.
Fucking dope.
Oh yeah, update. I got one. I don't know if I mentioned it.
Yeah.
I don't have one yet, but
got a pre-order.
Able to get a pre-order.
Snag a pre-order. Shout out to our buddy Antonio.
Yes, thank you so much. My fucking favorite sea Mexican at the moment, Filipino brother.
Yeah, I had to do that kind of behind your back because I'm like, hey man, did you get your PS4? He's like, dude, I got 5. I'm like,
what the fuck?
Or something like that. It was a lot. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I got like one from every retailer. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
And we're over here struggling.
Yeah, I'm like, first of all, how? Second of all, why?
I believe it. He's a programmer, right? I mean,
yeah, probably program some bot or something.
I'm fine with it. I got one.
Yeah, as long as I benefit from it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry, everyone else. But not really.
But he was like, I was like, dude, you're what's wrong with with pre-orders? And he's like, no, I just got one for all my buddies who didn't get one. I'm like, you're the best human being I've ever met.
I take
it all back.
Take it all
also,
back.
can Cristian have one? He's like, yeah, if so-and-so, I got one guy who's already spoken for, but if he backs out, Cristian is first in line.
Thank you, back out guy.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Who backs out of a PS5?
That guy, and I love you for it.
Fucking broke motherfuckers. But yeah, so I was excited. Hopefully we get them all on launch day. I'm excited for that. I think everyone, I think it's going to be a pretty cool holiday with fucking the PS5 coming out.
I just hope it's a good celebration, Hopefully Cheeto in office isn't there anymore. We got PS5. It'll be good. Then maybe 2020 will go out with a bang,
Yeah. Nuclear bang.
Yeah. Oh, shut up.
I think one thing I'm kind of excited for with the PS5 and Xbox coming out is hopefully to have more friends online. I feel like as I've gotten older, more of my friends have either moved to PC, like a bunch of lamos, or have just kind of stopped playing video games. And, it'll be nice to have some buddies online again to play like Destiny and Ghost of Tsushima and all the new games coming out, of course, too.
I think hopping on with like you and maybe like two other buddies, Ghost of Tsushima would be a lot of fun, particularly survival mode.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of those games, Destiny included, they're just more fun with friends. And like Destiny's one of those games where like, you can do the grindy stuff, like where you're just out like, farming materials or looking for the next, hot weapon or whatever. And it's like, you don't need team coordination or like super communication or anything like that. It's just nice to have someone to talk to, and you're just bullshitting about your day while you're mopping up aliens and stuff. So that's what I really love about it. And I'm looking forward to jumping back in. I haven't played in like probably 2 months because it was just like the seasonal content wasn't doing it for me. There was just nothing really. You're
gonna be surprised how out of whack you're gonna be just that for 2 months.
I know.
I felt it in Ghost of Tsushima, and this has been a couple weeks.
Yeah, I took another long break from Destiny early in the year, and I was just like, I come back in, I'm like, what is this? And there's all this new stuff, and it takes a little getting back to used to. But one thing that's kind of cool about the Beyond Light thing is for people who haven't played Destiny or are been out for 6-8 months or a year, it's supposed to catch you up very quickly.
So it's gonna level you up,
level boost you pretty quickly too. Not obviously not to the max, but to a fighting chance kind of thing. So you're not just getting destroyed. Alrighty. Well, that does it for Nerdy Confessions. So we will be right back after hopefully an advertisement, and we'll talk some good movie, bad movie. So we'll be right back. And we're back. All right. So last week we did a fun new segment, good movie, bad movie, which, it's not a great name, but it's I had to come up with something for the title. But I think it's accurate. You've often, told me about all these crazy like 80s schlocky horror movies or action movies or whatever. And I've often ridiculed for you, and rightly so, because most of them are terrible.
Well, so we'll start with that one then.
You want me to start?
So the first one was I gave him From Beyond.
From Beyond, based on HP Lovecraft's story. So it's kind of cool, watching Lovecraft Country, seeing what other stories there are out there.
They never did any of his racist stuff. I wonder why.
I don't know. I mean, the only black guy in the movie was a former football player. So.
Oh, Bubba, dude, I love Bubba.
He was great.
Bubba was my favorite.
So this, what year was it? It was 1985 or something like that. I think so.
Pretty sure.
Basically, it's starts off. There's a mad scientist guy who lives in a mansion.
Yes.
And then
666 Benevolent Street.
Yes, 666 Benevolent Street. great. And he has an assistant guy who's also a doctor, and basically they like it's kind of unclear. They open up like a portal to a different dimension, or they like do a vibration that shows these creatures that are all around.
If you're gonna butcher this movie, butcher it right. So it's a resonator that resonates and it activates the pineal gland. I probably said that.
Pineal gland.
Pineal gland in the brain, which is in the, I believe, it doesn't matter. So they say that that's what helps us to perceive the sixth sense. So when it gets activated, they're seeing like things from other dimensions popping through, like little flying fish. I thought those were pretty cool. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll say,
effects.
Like I think the creature effects were fine. You know, they were accurate to like the period. You know, very reminiscent of like The Thing. You know, John Carpenter's The Thing. And so basically, the first time they test this thing, it goes horribly wrong. The main scientist guy like disappears. You know, you think he's dead. The helper guy bolts out of the house like a little bitch, and runs into the street. He
saw his doctor mentor get his head eaten by a creature that we see that's off screen.
Yeah, and so he runs out like past this little old lady who had like snuck into the house to chase her dog, which was interesting.
So there's that one busybody old lady.
Yeah,
like, mind your business.
Mind your business.
There's freaky shit going on over there. It's none of your business.
Yeah, and then he basically gets arrested immediately, and
which is fucking bullshit. They're like, he killed him. I was like, okay, there's no blood. Like, where's the head?
Yeah.
Like, where's the forensics? They didn't check his hands to see if he'd done it. That would have been easily thrown out with a good lawyer.
Yeah, exactly. All the evidence was purely circumstantial. He gets put into an insane asylum because he's talking about like, they're all around us, everywhere, around you, around me, you know, and then there's a scientist lady who's like really interested in it, and she comes to see him at the insane asylum, and she's like, "Ooh, I'll bust you out of here if you show me, if you take me back there to the mansion and show it to me."
Well, she was like, maybe he's right, maybe he's like, yeah. And then they did an X-ray, and they're like, oh, his gland is bigger, like, so there is something to it. And she was like, maybe this device can help us fix people who are schizophrenic because he's seen things. This activates that. Mm-hmm. So she was like,
maybe she wanted to research it, right?
Also, the doctor is Barbara Crampton. She is awesome. She's in like a shit ton of horror movies. She's great. And the doctor, the assistant, is Jeffrey Combs, who was also... Both of them were in Reanimator. And most of the team were the same. Nice. Which is why it's the same feel, same people.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. A lot of Reanimator vibes in there. So they go and they get this guy Bubba, who's a former football player / now, like, what is he? Security guard?
No, he's detective.
And the three of them go back to the mansion.
Bubba Brown Lee.
Yeah, he was great though.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, and so they go back there, and things obviously start going awry. And then one of my favorite scenes was as soon as they get to the house, the lady doctor, I forget what her name was.
She is Dr. Catherine Michaels.
Catherine. So Catherine hears some lady screaming upstairs, and she goes upstairs and opens the door, and it's just Bubba, and he's sitting there watching pornography on this TV.
To be fair, he is a detective.
He was detecting,
and it was the doctor who was shooting S&M videos there.
Right. Yeah, the doctor who gets eaten in the beginning was like shooting weird BDSM.
My man Bubba was detecting, investigating.
He's like
doing his job.
He was into some weird shit.
He was.
And
no kink shame if you're into that.
Yeah, do whatever you want. Just don't get eaten by interdimensional monsters.
Yeah, that's where it goes bad.
That's where it always goes bad. So that, eventually, they're hanging out there. The doctor guy who escaped previously, he was like, he's freaking out. He doesn't want to be there. He's like, oh my God, they're going to kill me. And so eventually in the middle of the night, Catherine goes down there and turns on the resonator, right?
Yep.
And like, as she turns it on, she goes and makes out with, and Crawford's like, Crawford.
Yes.
Crawford goes down there and he's like, no, don't do it. And she's like, I want to do it. I want to see what happens. And then she starts making out with him.
So in later scenes, they say in that dimension you experience pleasure like no other.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like relations to pleasure, and that's why, the other guy had made the porno movies, because he was like flaunting with that dimension. Whatever. And so, of course, once they open it up, they start seeing the little sky eel things that are floating around. And then they see this like blobbed monster with like melted face.
Well, first, Dr. Pretorius.
Dr. Praetorian or whatever.
Yeah, Pretorius comes back in human form. And like, oh, you're not dead. And he's like, oh, no, man, this dimension is awesome. It's like, you guys all need to come over here. And then they touch him and like their hand goes through. And that's when he starts turning into that weird monster.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
You're probably distracted painting a mini or something.
Whatever. Yeah. So he eventually turns into like a crazy, weird tentacle monster. And then like he grabs Catherine and he's like, and she's like, what are you going to do to me? He's like, I'm going to kiss you.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Well, I mean, this team, and then with
and he
Reanimator,
rips her clothes off.
They always have that weird, creepy old guy that's trying to get with the young, hot, girl, and it just happened to be both times Barbara.
Yeah. And so then the Crawford guy, he's like, I'll be right back. And then he books it like a little bitch again. But he goes down to the circuit breaker and because he's going to shut off the power because the other Praetorian doctor guy was not letting him turn off the power. And he basically runs into Bubba, who's only wearing his little tidy whities.
I fucking love it. They were Speedos, and I believe they were maroon.
Yeah, they were. There's a lot of floppy dick around.
He was running around with that big old floppy dick.
Yeah, and they go down to the basement, which is filled with water for some reason, and
monsters. Yeah,
and then there's another big monster, very similar to the Demogorgon from Stranger Things, with the big face that opens up, and and he's like. He's like, hold on, I'll be right back. And so he runs away.
My man,
there's a lot of running away.
My man Bubba does the old '80s cop stance shooting. Where he's like, he shoots and then it's not working. And like the fucking G that he is, he jumps in. He's like, fuck it, he's gonna try to wrestle it.
He runs into the kitchen, grabs a giant like steak knife.
Yeah.
And then he's like, ah, and he's like trying to wrestle it away, and then. Meanwhile, what's her name? Barbara upstairs is getting her clothes torn off, and and eventually they shut down the resonator for the night, basically. And they're like, oh my god, that was so crazy. And then and they're like, well, good thing we have it powered down, or they pulled some plugs out of it or something like that, right? And then the snake thing that's down in the basement grabs onto Crawford's head and sucks his hair off.
Yeah.
That was weird.
He was about to eat him. He was going to tear his head off what happened to Pretorius or whatever.
Yeah. And he comes back and he's all bald and he's kind of passed out. And so they put him in a bed to let him recover.
In the S&M room.
And then what's her name Catherine goes up there to check on him. And then she starts putting on S&M gear.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what's happening? What is this movie turning into?
I'm not mad about it.
It made it more watchable than the fucking Chuck Norris movie last week. I was just like, well, at least I see a little, TNA in here.
I don't know what it is. I find her so attractive. She's so hot.
Well, because she started with the stuck up glasses and tight hair and the lab coat. And then
Which
she's
was also working for me.
putting on the bright red lipstick and the leather. And you're like, oh, okay.
And then she grabs his dick.
She definitely gives him an HJ while he's passed out.
No consent.
Consent, ladies. It's important. You know what you're doing. Oh, no. What's happening?
He's like, it was weird that's when she found him attractive because he was pale and sickly and bald.
Well, I don't think it was even that. I think it was the pleasure dimension or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
It was infecting her basically.
Then she starts riding him passed out.
Yeah, riding him passed out again.
Not
ladies,
mad. Consent, but not mad.
Yeah. I mean, if you just asked, we'd be down. But please ask.
And then one of my other favorite parts with Bubba, my man Bubba comes in.
He's like, look at yourself.
And then she's trying to seduce him, and for a second, only for a second, he's like, no. And then he's like, I will not be tempted by you, white woman. And I was like, yes, thank you. He didn't fucking do it.
Yeah, Bubba's a stand-up dude.
For sure.
He was good. And then eventually, of course, Crawford wakes up, and then the thing turns on again because like the actual, Dr. Pretorius from the other dimension like plugs it in kind of thing on its own. And so then there's these like weird bees that come out, and there's
poor man Bubba.
Yeah,
like the hero he is.
They're swarming around the other two, Crawford and Catherine, and then Bubba notices that they're attracted to the light. So he's like, "Oh, I'll do my flashlight and I'll throw my flashlight over here." But then he throws the flashlight and it lands pointed back at him. And he doesn't leave the beam of the light. He just stands there and gets eaten by bees.
Because he sacrificed himself.
Sacrificed himself, I guess. That was a bummer. And then Crawford gets like a weird eyeball that pops out of his head.
So it's like it's the actual gland that like popped out.
Yeah, that can like see, and it looked like 80s heat vision.
Yeah, like Predator vision.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he basically starts to be hella weird, like Pretorius, and then like they go briefly back to the insane asylum where now Catherine is being treated like a crazy person, and like as soon as she gets there, like the hour that she arrives there with Crawford, and Crawford's all fucked up, he's got a little fucking eyeball popping out of his head. The main doctor is like trying to like check on him, and the little eyeball pops out. She's like, "Oh my god!"
Like not even that freaked out by it.
Yeah, not even that freaked out. And then she goes back and tells Catherine that she's crazy and that she's immediately going to do electroshock therapy on her. Like, what regulations are there? I mean, there has to be something.
That's the 80s, baby.
Yeah, so they're about to electric shock therapy her, but they end up getting out.
Well, so what I thought was crazy, and I'm surprised you didn't pick up on it, was that Crawford manages to get out, and he's seeing with his little predator vision.
Yep.
For whatever reason, there's a brain and a 5-gallon paint bucket.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, hospitals
they just have brains laying around.
And he just opens them, and
he's like gobbling the brain up.
Yeah.
And then so basically they go back to the house because she's like, I'm going to shut this thing down once and for all. And then, there's like the last battle kind of happens. So basically, Pretorius comes out, eats off Crawford's head, like snaps it off.
Well, so
and then
Crawford
starts bursting out of him, his full body.
There's a mini scene before that where Crawford has Catherine, and he's like holding her, and the little thing comes, like, and the little eyeball comes out, and then she bites it off.
Oh,
and
that's right.
That's what turns him back into his normal self.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And he allows himself to be eaten by.
Why did the eels help her?
I don't know.
That was weird. Because at one point, like they help, like she's tied up on the BDSM thing, and they come and.
Oh no! So they wanted blood, so she cut herself, and the blood were dripping on the thing. Oh. And then that got her out.
Oh, really? That was way too subtle. That was very, very, very subtle. And then so he kind of battles Dr. Pretorius. And they have like this final showdown, and I actually wrote down what transpired.
Okay.
It was like some of the best writing I've ever heard.
So to set the scene, Crawford gets eaten by Pretorius or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, and he's like bursting out of
It's
Pretorius.
Basically two brains trying to control one body, which is the alien or the dimensional thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so Pretorius guy is like, the greatest sensual pleasure there is to know is the desires of another mind. And then Crawford's like, I know your desires, you impotent pig. And then Pretorius is like, we are the most powerful being in the universe. And then Crawford retorts, she'll know, Edward, how pathetic you are, how you can't make love. Oh, that really hits deep. Mm-hmm. And then Pretorius is like, maybe you can teach me. So now it turned into like a schoolyard. Well, why don't you, maybe you're stupid. And then Crawford says, all right, come and get me, eunuch.
We don't know what happened in those other scenes. I mean, he's a crazy doctor.
Yeah, they were crazy. I mean, I think that overall, this movie is not as bad as the Firewalker. I was not a huge fan of Firewalker. And also I wrote down here, he eats Crawford's head, but then his whole body comes out, which I thought was kind of weird. But what are you going to do? Overall, I think the movie, it's not as bad as Firewalker. And the reason why is like, it seems like they really tried. Like the set design was very good.
Oh yeah.
You know, like the laboratory looked super legit. It wasn't a huge set, right? There's
No.
only 3 or 4 main
So it was
rooms.
shot in Italy for $2 million.
Okay.
Because they were going to shoot in the U.S. and it was going to cost $15 million. They're like, take that shit over there, Italy.
Yeah. That's
Got it
why
done.
all the spaghetti westerns were over there, right? Yeah. So I think overall, you know, I was like, look, the acting wasn't great. You know what I mean?
How dare you.
And as you heard, the writing left a little to be desired, right?
I think a lot of that has to do because it was shot in Italy. They probably had some Italian rewrites or maybe like something that didn't translate too well. That's what I'm guessing.
It could be. It could just be terrible. You know, that's another hypothesis. But I think, you know, overall, like the chemistry between the characters was very good.
Bubba was amazing.
Bubba was amazing. The creature design, for being that low budget, was very good. Like when his face is kind of in this like gelatinous blob looking thing, like it looked good. It looked just as good as the Thing.
Yeah,
John Carpenter's
for sure.
Thing. Now the story wasn't as good as the Thing, but there were some creepy concepts in there. You know, there was just like some kind of weird plot holes where like for some reason like a fire extinguisher was able to like stop the resonance from happening.
Sorry, that's annoying the shit out of me. Okay, yeah, it's kind of funny, and that's like a movie thing where fire extinguishers apparently make things cold. They don't. They fucking don't. It's just chemicals. Like they don't fucking.
Well, there are
freeze it.
some like a lot of fire extinguishers have compressed CO2, which is very cold.
Really?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I learned something.
I've sprayed fire extinguishers before, and it's like, ooh, frosty. But yeah, I mean, like, it's not that cold. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it gives you frostbite. I don't think it's that cold. So, but apparently it's too cold for those interdimensional beings.
They don't like it.
Yeah. But you know, yeah, I don't think this was as bad. I had a decent time watching it. The dialogue was, you know, a little rough at times.
I know the secret is make sure there's a little bit of butts, a little bit of titties.
Little bit of butts and titties. Never heard anything, you know. I think that, you know, definitely I was like, I perked up at that one. I'm like, Mo, what's happening here? But yeah, you know, I'd say, you know, your classic 80s, like.
And there was something for the ladies with Bubba being, you know,
yeah, fuck ladies. Yeah, you should watch that. Bubba was packing. And then he puts on like his football jersey. I like that.
Yeah.
Too. Like, of course, like why? Black people can be more than just athletes, everyone.
And he was, you know, he was the only one that made sense. Like, we should go. Nah, like, did you not see that shit?
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Happened? We should get out of here.
She's like, no, I want to see it again. Yeah, yeah, she was dumb. But yeah, you know, it was all right. You know, I'll give you that one. It's not one of those ones where I'd be like, dude, you have to see this. But I didn't feel like my time was wasted watching.
Okay, all right.
So,
all right.
you know, not terrible.
I'm weighing him down.
Yeah.
Pull him to my side.
See what else you have later on. All right, Cristian, you had to watch one of my favorite movies, a sequel to last week's Blade Runner. You watched Blade Runner 2049, directed by Denis Villeneuve, who is doing the new Dune movie.
You know, I was reading about. Is that how you pronounce it?
No, I don't know.
I was like Dennis.
I've heard someone say it's something close to that.
I was like Dennis.
It's French for sure.
I was like Dennis Villanueva.
Yeah.
Maybe I guess I don't know.
No, yeah, I think it's like a French version of a Spanish name.
Okay.
Or something like that. It's like Denis Villeneuve. Doesn't matter.
It was amazing.
He makes good movies. Like
it was
real good movies.
It was amazing. It was a great movie. The story was amazing. Cinematography was great. The feel of the universe. It felt like the same universe of Blade Runner. I feel like when people do like a sequel of something that was dated, you know, like they'll make
Star Wars, for instance. Like
yeah,
the prequels felt very like a very different world than the
like why did the
original.
prequels that they have more advanced technology than the original?
Yeah,
and in this one it didn't feel like
real
that.
shiny glassy ships.
Yeah.
Like no, this one was still muted and dark. Atari was still going strong.
Yeah, so I read about that was that apparently there's the
French
Blade
Canadian
Runner,
film actor or
there's
film
a
director.
Blade Runner curse of all the companies that were in the original Blade Runner busted.
Oh really?
And so they were like,
I think Sony was in the original one though.
I don't remember. And so they were like, we don't really want to add anything in there. Probably.
Oh, he's doing the new Cleopatra movie.
Yeah, but they casted Wonder Woman, Gal
Gadot,
and people are in their feelings.
Why?
Because they didn't get a, possibly Egyptian person.
Isn't she Israeli?
She's Israeli.
I mean, it's pretty close. It's just right across the.
Crossing that line. Everyone who's listening gets upset. Cody said that.
No, it's literally across from the Caspian Sea.
I'm not touching that topic.
It's very close, Plus, she's super hot. Cleopatra's supposed to be like the hottest lady ever.
Actually, no. She wasn't supposed to be super. She was super
That's what
sought
everyone
after.
expects.
But she wasn't necessarily that hot. It was more of her personality and persona.
She was probably pretty hot.
And then other people were arguing.
Yeah, of course it was her personality, Cristian.
I'm just saying.
Everyone wrote that in the hieroglyphics. No, they're like, boom, check out this ass.
That's what we learned in the history books. Check out that ass. No, and then there's also thoughts that she may have had like Greek parents or like her whole.
She was supposed to be. I remember she was supposed to be like fairer skinned and like different bone structure than a lot of people have.
It's possible, and then other people said no, she wasn't.
Who cares? It's a gazillion years ago.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the universe of Blade Runner looked like it still had very much an '80s feel to it. Even it looked like advanced '80s technology. It was really there was so many little great things about it. What's his name is amazing. I'm forgetting his name.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
I mean, it's not fucking fair with that guy. You can't be that fucking good looking and that great at fucking acting. Like, God, dude.
So good. Dude,
leave it
the
for
first scene with Dave Bautista.
Oh, yeah.
That was supposed to be in the first.
I read that.
Blade
it was
Runner.
supposed to be in the first Blade Runner, and then they took it out, so it was like.
Such a good scene, though.
Yeah. And.
Dave Bautista is actually a good actor, too.
Oh, yeah. He's amazing. When I saw that scene, because at that point I wasn't sure, well, I guess spoilers, we're going to get into it, but. Kay is a replicant.
I think
I didn't know that coming in.
So here's a funny story, right? I went and saw this movie in the theaters with my buddy Alex, who we've had on the show a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Also Alex recently bought me a pair of Boba Fett Adidas.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Very nice guy. But we saw the movie together. And at this point, he was working some job that required him to wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning, and we went to like a 10 o'clock showing of this 3-hour movie or something. It was
2.5, 2:40.
It was late night for him, right? And so we're watching the movie, and to give you some context, like they announced that he's a replicant, 10 minutes into the movie?
Yeah.
Like when he goes back to the police station, right? And so he's like dozing off as we're watching this movie. He like zones out, and I can hear him like snoring. And I'm like, well, he's tired, I elbowed him a couple times, and he would go and doze off again. And then like he wakes up like, I don't know, an hour and a half into the movie, 2 hours into the movie, or it might have been at the credits. It was I think it was when the movie ended. I'm like, Alex, wake up. He's like, what? He's like, wait, was he a robot? And I was like, dude, yes. That's like the first thing that happened.
So in that scene, I knew Bautista was, I forgot his character's name.
Doesn't matter.
Sapper. Well,
sure.
I knew he was a replicant, and he's a big guy.
Yeah.
So then when he tackles Ryan Gosling and basically bangs his head through a wall.
Yeah.
And then Ryan Gosling just like blocks and then like throat punches him a couple times and beats him. I was like, I don't care how amazing of a fucking cop or a fighter you are. You're not going to beat a replicant that fucking size. I was like,
right.
And at that point, I didn't know he was a replicant. It wasn't until they got to the police station.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay, they're base testing him. Like, all right. I get it.
Exactly. What else happened in it?
Dude, I won't get too much into it. Sure. I guess the short version because it's a long movie. The girl, I must say, Joy, his... the
assistant?
No, his AI
assistant, virtual assistant.
It was his girlfriend.
Virtual girlfriend assistant.
Yeah.
She also cooks and stuff for him.
Yeah. Well, she fake cooked. It was like... It was very much like those fake Japanese people, like in Japan, have those fake girlfriend like apps and stuff where they talk to them in an alarm clock.
Yeah.
It's just a way more advanced version of that, but you still can't touch them. Uh-huh. She was so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then
great.
It wasn't even until later that I figured out, oh my God, it's the girl from Knives Out. Like, oh my God, like that's her. I didn't realize.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, she was great. She didn't have. I wish there was more parts with her, but all her scenes with her were amazing. Mm-hmm. Love, who is the assistant to Jared Leto's...
Her name was Ana de Armas.
Yeah. Oh, she's Latin. Oh, nice.
Sure.
Love was crazy, and I loved every scene with her. I haven't seen that actress in anything else. Let's see her name.
Who's Love?
Love was the assistant to Jared Leto, the assassin.
That doesn't look like her at all.
No, it doesn't.
But that's supposed to be her.
She was amazing. She played crazy so well.
Yeah, she hasn't been in a much stuff. Oh, she's in that show C on Apple Plus.
I want to see her in more stuff. She was amazing. She played crazy robot super well. Like when she was beating the shit out of him towards the end, I'm like, dude, it looks like she can actually fight. Like all of her scenes were amazing. Like when he first meets her, and he says like, oh, she says my name is Love, and he's like, Ryan Gosling, they named you. And she has this little twitch. It was like very micro in her eye. We're like, yo, she hated that. Like she fucking hated. Like I was like, dude, if I wasn't paying close attention, I would have missed that. Like,
yep.
And it was just interesting how like the advanced, they were the Nexus 9 or 8.
I don't remember. I think it was 9, Nexus 9.
I think they were the Nexus 9. Like the upgrades they made to them, like they have more emotion that they try almost to hide themselves. Like almost like they don't want the humans to know that they're too human.
Sure.
But you could see those little micro like expressions on their faces. And even Ryan Gosling, when he starts finding out more information, like you could see like he's hurt by a lot of stuff he's finding out.
Sure.
And he internalized it.
Yeah.
No, there's just so many great things about the movie. I could go on.
I actually thought Jared Leto did a really good job as Wallace.
You know, it was interesting. I was reading how he researched for the part was that he has CEO friends at Silicon Valley.
Sure.
And he just studied them. And he's like, and that's how they act. He's like, and I was like, that's fucking insane.
Is terrifying.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Like, dude, he played such an evil guy.
Where he like pulls the replicant girl out of the plastic
and then
bag,
slices her stomach with no fucking remorse.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. Yeah, that's what's
running this.
Yeah, exactly. That's how Mark Zuckerberg is.
I bet
he has humans in bags.
Definitely. Look at his face. It definitely looks like a robot. That's a failed.
Make sure to like us on Facebook.
Yeah, that's a failed replicant for sure.
Yeah, for sure. He was like a Nexus 10 or a Nexus 2. I guess I should go a lower number.
The cars were dope. His little drone from the car was amazing.
Yep. Did you like when what's her name, Mackenzie Davis, the like prostitute replicant lady, like did their weird threesome with Joy, where she like went into Joy? Yeah.
That was a weird scene. I'm glad they didn't just.
Mackenzie Davis, also very awesome. She was in New Terminator.
Oh, that's where I'd seen her from.
And she was in The Martian.
I'm really happy they didn't
Mirror.
just have Joy take over. It was really cool and creepy where like you would see one then see the other.
They like sync up. That visual effect was very, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many great things. I don't want to miss anything.
Harrison Ford shows up eventually.
He was amazing.
I like that the movie wasn't entirely about him. You know what I mean? It
kind of was, but it wasn't. It didn't revolve around him the whole time.
Correct. Yeah. And then they brought Rachel back.
Yeah. So I was like, dude, that was some really good. I guess deep fakes.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, did they just bring her in and just de-age her? Like, no, they didn't. It was another actress.
Yeah.
And they did the CG on top. They did have her on, and she did give tips on mannerisms and how to stand and what to do. Sure. So I thought that was pretty cool.
What was her name? Sean Young.
Yes.
Sean Young was the original actress. Yeah, and then like I love how Harrison Ford's just been hanging out in Vegas in like a fucking casino.
So let me ask you a question.
Fucking badass. That's what I would do in the future.
Is he a replicant in your mind?
If you had asked me that after just the first movie and after like reading the book, I would say a yes. After this one, I'm not 100% sure.
See, after I watched it, I was like, oh, he's a replicant 100%. But then I actually went and read a bunch of stuff about it. I'm like, oh, that's right. Because when he meets up Jared Leto, he tells him like, like you were supposed to fall in love with her the moment you saw her. You were supposed to like have like have no choice in wanting to be with her. He's like, almost like you were programmed. But then he goes, if you were programmed. So it's like, fuck you, Jared Leto. Like, you're not telling me one way or another. Like,
I know.
So,
and I think that it does keep it ambiguous, which is kind of cool because you can really make an argument either way, right? Like he's getting old as fuck.
They were saying Bautista got old. So like there were obviously some models that could get older.
Right. But then the big reveal at the end, spoilers again, if you haven't seen this movie that came out, like 5 years ago? 3 years ago? Okay. Is that he and Sean Young had a child
Yes.
together who they're now raising in like a weird bubble.
Which made me wonder, is she, like, it would make sense that she wasn't immune to diseases or could get sick because, you know, it's a human, possibly a human with possibly a replicant, or was that a lie to keep people away from her so she could be safe? Like, it's not really clear on that.
Yeah, again, it's one of those, you know, Blade Runner universe likes to play in ambiguities, you know, where it could be that, you know, hey, it's two replicants making a baby, so how would they make an immune system?
Yeah.
But then again, if it was two replicants, they probably wouldn't need an immune system, right? But
if it was human and replicant, like, oh, there might be some genes
there might be some weird shit going on, you know, who knows? Or they could just have her there to study her and, you know, figure out how to make that available so that they can
Well, no one knew other than was it the group that tried to free replicants, like,
yeah,
this happened in the past that they don't show in the movie. Like, they tried to revolt, and I guess they nuked L.A., which is why there was that big period of forgotten or lost information.
Yeah, I forget what they called it, the flash or whatever.
The big wipe. Or
big
maybe
wipe or whatever, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I really liked it. So now, which one did you like better, the first one or this one? Ooh, also we should mention Edward James Olmos has a brief cameo.
That was awesome. Yeah, and he kind of hinted too, like, because Kay goes and visits him, and he's like, "Why do you retire?" He's like, I always knew he was going to retire. He's like, "How did you know?" He's like, "Something in his eyes." And it's like, oh, and in the first movie, that's how they could tell, like,
the replicant eyes.
So it's like they give you hints, bunch of hints one way or another. Also, he was living in a high radiation area. It's like, could he do that if he was human?
Oh, the dog was okay till they murdered it.
We don't know if he was because Kay asked him,
"Oh, that's
is
true.
he real?" I don't know. Ask him.
That's true.
It's like
also like the whole point, like the in the novel, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? There's like the first like whole chapter is all about how animals are too expensive and no one can afford them, so they have robot animals. Like they're like, "Oh my God, did you hear so and so got a chicken? Oh my God, there's no way she can afford a chicken." Yeah, so it was like
take these real animals for granted.
Yeah, I know. We just eat them.
I should get a chicken. No, I shouldn't.
Unlimited eggs, bro.
That's
Unlimited
true.
Eggs.
Don't you got to keep a rooster around?
Or
that?
like 2 chicken sandwiches. Unlimited eggs, or very limited chicken sandwiches.
Very limited chicken. Unlimited eggs sounds nice.
Oh man.
Now you'd ask me which one do I like better? That's tough, man. They were both great for different reasons. I do love the aesthetics of the 80s from the previous one. I think I'd say 2049. It was more epic. There was more story to it, whereas that was the one thing I'd say the first Blade Runner lacked a little. It brought in a great universe, but not a whole lot of story.
Right.
We just knew it was one guy who had to take out
a
couple replicants.
The first one is, you know, it's basically about, you know, Deckard, who's supposed to take out these revolting replicants, but then it kind of, the moral of it is like, you know, do we have the right to take away their freedom? Are they a living being or are they a manufactured thing? It has a lot to do with like the idea of humanity and whatnot, or
what is actual
what is
life,
right? You know, this one has like a very intricate story that deals with the previous movie, but then also deals with those themes too. You know, so I don't know. I really like the second one. I like them both a lot, but I will say I think I like 2049 a smidge better.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. It was great. Now, I'm not knocking the first one. The first one's amazing. It brought on a bunch of universities. I feel like it changed a lot of filmmaking. Like, I think a lot of people tried to do what Ridley Scott did back then. Like, just... from
a cinematic, like, you know, perspective, like the very dark, dingy, like, future. Yeah, he was one of the, you know, the first ones to really pioneer that look.
And I forgot to mention last time when I'd seen the first Blade Runner, it reminded me a lot of The Fifth Element. And I'm like, no, it's the other way.
Right,
the Fifth Element
took a lot from Blade Runner.
Yeah, and I was like, I love Fifth Element, one of my favorite movies. Like, I wouldn't have that movie.
The flying cars, the general disdain for Asian people.
Yes. Yeah, all of that.
All of that.
One of Chris Tucker's best roles, man.
Oh my God. So good.
So good.
Yeah. Also, I mean, Bruce Willis and Mila Jovovich, like, it was that.
Yeah,
it was so good.
It was so good.
Gary Oldman
As a villain, oh yeah.
with the leaking stuff down his.
Oh
like,
yeah,
weird.
but that's rough because he's amazing in everything. That dude's just a great actor.
He is just amazing in everything. Him as Winston Churchill was fucking.
Oh, I haven't seen it,
dude. That might be on your list.
but
later.
everything of Bruce Willis in that movie too.
Yeah.
was amazing. He was just like very like a badass, but just very casual. Like he just fucking knew
that world was just fucking dope.
Yeah,
The follow up was not as good. Did you see?
I know the movie you're talking about, but no, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it was not very good.
No, I heard because that was like his next movie, right? Like
that was like his exact next movie. He doesn't do very many. Oh man, people are doing donuts outside again. He doesn't do very many movies, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's finally going to do a new one. It's going to be so awesome. Oh, I can't wait." And then it was just like, "Oh, it's actually not that good."
I was going to watch it, but I just kind of like, you ever have like a gut feeling? You're like,
Luc Besson.
You're like, I know this movie's not going to be good. Wow, they were really doing
They're
donuts.
They're fucking doing some fucking donuts. So let's see. He did the one we were talking about is Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. Well, I mean, he's actually done some stuff.
That's
he
like
wrote
something
a lot
you're like
stuff.
you want it to be good because you want more of that genre, but it didn't.
Yes, sometimes those movies just like they hit the right combination of like whether it's characters, settings, special effects, story, and it just hits perfect, and it's hard to be replicated.
What was that other
pun intended?
What was that other space one with the girl from that 70s show? Oh God.
Oh, Jupiter Ascending by the Wachowskis.
Yeah, that one too. I was like,
ladies.
I wanted it to be good, and it was.
Yeah, it was a pile of shit.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean,
Two men would have made a better movie. Just kidding. This is low hanging fruit. Christian had to do it.
So, what do you think of the Matrix then? You think they're gonna bomb it?
Yeah, this one won't be as good. They've gotten worse as they've gone on. No, I don't know. I'm excited.
No, you loved whatchamacallit, that movie that was racist. The Sky one, or was it?
Cloud Atlas.
Yeah,
I did love that movie.
Yeah.
That book was cool too.
They had white people playing Asian characters.
Well, they had.
How come that movie hasn't been called out yet? It really hasn't. Like, no one has called them out on it.
Well, the idea, Christian, if you fucking paid attention to the movie, is that these souls were reincarnated. So the idea was to use the same actors for everything. And so, yes, unfortunately, well, I can't say unfortunately, but some of them got reincarnated or in a different lifetime.
My man said unfortunately.
Unfortunately for what you're talking about. Because, yes, it does require, I forget, who was it? Hugh Grant?
Hugh Grant and there was a couple
Halle
people.
Berry, maybe?
They
made a couple people Asian.
They straight up gave them slanty eyes. Like,
yeah. But I mean,
did they learn nothing from Mickey Rooney and fucking Breakfast Club?
Well, that was different
or not Breakfast at Tiffany's. Like,
that was different though because it was just one character playing one Asian guy. You know, these are
multiple
supposed to
white
be
people playing different Asian people.
Well, it's either that or you
hire Asian people.
No, but then you couldn't do the same actor through all the storylines.
That's okay.
It's not. That's what they were trying to do. It's the whole point of it. The whole point of it is that those characters are reincarnated through the timelines. That's like what the book's about and what the thing's about. Mm-hmm. It would be different, Christian, if it was a kung fu movie and they have a Bruce Lee character who's just like Tom Hanks with tape on his eyes.
I'd be kind of okay with that.
I'd be down. I'd watch it. I wouldn't approve, but I would watch it. No, I actually like the Wachowskis a lot. I think that they do a lot of good stuff. They just hit some sneakers every once in a while.
Like, it's funny. The one that I thought was bad that you loved, what was it? Speed Racer.
No, I like Speed. I like Speed Racer.
That's what I'm saying.
You thought it was bad?
I thought it was meh. I thought it was...
Well, it's a nostalgia thing. Speed Racer itself was not very good. It's an old, really old Japanese anime, and the story is whatever. But it's like, it was cool to see that come to life, and the special effects were like fucking in your face. That world was just fucking dope.
Yeah.
The follow-up was not as good. Did you see
I know the movie you're talking about, but no, I didn't watch it.
Yeah. It was not very good.
No, I heard. Because that was like his next movie, right? Like
that was like his exact next movie. He doesn't do very many. Oh man, people are doing donuts outside again. He doesn't do very many movies, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's finally going to do a new one. It's going to be so awesome. Oh, I can't wait." And then it was just like, "Oh, it's actually not that good."
I was going to watch it, but I just kind of like, you ever have like a gut feeling? You're like,
Luc Besson.
You're like, I know this movie's not going to be good. Wow, they were really doing donuts.
They're fucking doing some fucking donuts. So let's see. He did the one we were talking about is Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. Well, I mean, he's actually done some stuff.
That's like something you're like you want it to be good because you want more of that genre, but it didn't.
Yes, sometimes those movies just like they hit the right combination of like whether it's characters, settings, special effects, story, and it just hits perfect, and it's hard to be replicated.
What was that other
pun intended?
What was that other space one with the girl from that 70s show? Oh God.
Oh, Jupiter Ascending by the Wachowskis.
Yeah, that one too. I was like, I wanted it to be good, and it was.
Yeah, it was a pile of shit.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, it was
Two Men would have made a better movie. Just kidding. This is low hanging fruit, Christian. I had to do it.
So, what do you think of The Matrix then? You think they're gonna bomb it?
Yeah, this one won't be as good. They've gotten worse as they've gone on. No, I don't know. I'm excited.
No, you loved that movie that was racist, the Sky one, or was it?
Cloud Atlas.
Yeah,
I did love that movie.
Yeah,
that book was cool too.
They had white people playing Asian characters.
Well, they had.
How come that movie hasn't been called out yet? It really hasn't. Like no one has called them out on it.
Well, the idea, Christian, if you fucking paid attention to the movie, is that these souls were reincarnated. Mm-hmm. So the idea was to use the same actors for everything. And so, yes, unfortunately, well, I can't say unfortunately, but some of them got reincarnated or in a different lifetime.
My man said unfortunately.
Unfortunately for what you're talking about. Because, yes, it does require, I forget, who was it, Hugh Grant?
Hugh Grant and there was a couple
Halle
people.
Berry, maybe?
They
made a couple people Asian.
They straight up gave them slanty eyes. Like,
yeah. But I mean,
did they learn nothing from Mickey Rooney and fucking Breakfast Club?
Well, that was different
or not Breakfast at Tiffany's. Like
that was different though because it was just one character playing one Asian guy. These are
multiple
supposed to
white people playing different Asian people.
Well, it's either that or you
hire Asian people.
No, but then you couldn't do the same actor through all the storylines.
That's okay.
It's not. That's what they were trying to do. It's the whole point of it. The whole point of it is that those characters are reincarnated through the timelines. That's like what the book's about and what the thing's about. Mm-hmm. It would be different, Christian, if it was a kung fu movie and they were like they have a Bruce Lee character who's just like Tom Hanks with tape on his eyes.
I'd be kind of okay with that.
I'd be down. I'd watch it. I wouldn't approve, but I would watch it. No, I actually like the Wachowskis a lot. I think that they do a lot of good stuff. They just hit some sneakers every once in a while.
Like, it's funny. The one that I thought was bad that you loved, what was it? Speed Racer.
No, I like Speed. I like Speed Racer.
That's what I'm saying.
You thought it was bad?
I thought it was meh. I thought it was...
Well, it's a nostalgia thing. Speed Racer itself was not very good. It's an old, really old Japanese anime, and the story is whatever. But it's like it was cool to see that come to life, and the special effects were like fucking in your face.
I honestly think when I saw the Neo and Agent Smith battle where they were in the air clashing into each other, when I saw that the first time, like that movie was not their best one, but that scene, I'm like, oh my god, if there was people who could direct an anime movie and do it right, it's these
That's
gals
true.
now. And someone said guys, but
these people.
So when I saw that scene, I was like, okay, if there was ever going to be a Dragon Ball Z movie, like this, this is how it should.
Dude, the Wachowskis doing a Dragon Ball Z movie.
It would be great.
Fuck yeah.
But it's like they picked Speed Racer as their anime. It's like, so it just killed any potential work moving forward.
God, that would be great. Now I really want to see that.
It would have been amazing.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm excited to see what the new Matrix is all about.
What the skis are doing?
With the skis, the Wachowskis. I like the OA was okay too. It was very weird. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I do like OA.
Or no, I'm sorry. I don't think it was the OA. I think it was Sense8. Sense8, right?
God, I told myself I
I
wasn't
feel
gonna
like
take this thing and I'm about
I
to
feel
finish
like both the O8 and Sense8 had one same actress in it. No, I'm thinking of something different. I like Sense8 though.
it. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh really?
Mm-mm.
Well, you get to see a trans lady bang another lesbian lady.
Oh,
It's pretty cool.
that's progressive.
Yeah, very progressive. Yeah, it's like that lady's voice is really low. Nope, she's living her life. But she's actually a really good actress, and I think she has now a career because of that
Nice.
show. Very interesting though, because they can like all sense each other's emotions and stuff like that. Pretty dope.
Nice.
I liked it.
I'll watch it.
All right. Well, I think that just about does it for this week.
We didn't get to your mom's house, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I mean, I know they need, more audience.
Obviously,
They need help.
Tom,
Sorry, guys.
Tom and Bert struggling for followers.
Yeah. Sorry we couldn't get to you guys.
Yeah.
We'll have you guys next time.
Keep it high and tight. But I think that just about does it. Make sure you guys check out our Instagram or nerdswithfriendspodcast.com for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good following. Jive, right?
We message back.
Yeah, we always do. And leave us some funny ones. Tell us your nerdy confessions.
Yeah, or leave rude comments, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Christian, thank you for watching 2049
It's amazing.
and giving me a shitty movie to watch.
A good shitty.
Exactly. And to all the nerds out there, remember, you're not alone. You're with friends. This is Nerds with Friends. Thank you, and good night.